Thanks for tuning in. This is the Pete Wong Podcast, sharing the things that I love with those that I love. Let's go. Hey everybody, this is Pete Wong here. Welcome to the Pete Wong Podcast. This is something that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time, and even started recording interviews with people, and I really like the podcast format. I really like how we can just get together and share and talk to each other, and that's what I really am all about. And so when I got together with my very good buddy, one of my best friends, Joshua Dyrud, he presented an idea to me, and once I heard it, I felt like the universe was like aligning everything. So I want to tell you what we're going to be doing, and just get you excited for that, as excited as I am. So the Pete Wong Podcast is going to be a few different things, but we're going to start off first. I'm going to be starting out first doing this. And what this is it's going to be me reading to you my book. I wrote a book about probably a little over a year ago, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm super excited to share it with you. But to be honest, I got cold feet. As to how to publish it, and I even watched YouTube videos, and I thought I could figure it out, and I just felt overwhelmed. And one of the things that I want to encourage and be an example of is that we have these things that we want to share with the world, and sometimes we get past that threshold of actually doing something, and whether it's creating something or taking action, but then at some point we get into another obstacle, and we don't push ourselves forward. Well, that's what happened to me. I really wanted to share this book with everyone, and I got scared. And so I'm going to be working on facing my fears and getting that book published, so I can get it into your hands, your eyes, your ears, and ultimately your hearts and minds. But Josh gave me a great idea, and he suggested that I begin on a podcast reading to you the book. And so that's what we're going to do. So every week, I'm still figuring out which day, but I'll let you know. I'll be posting about it. But every week, I'm going to be reading my book, Being Phenomenal, to you for about 30 minutes at a time. And this book is really special to me. I wrote it about a year and a half ago, and I've been wanting to share it with all of you, and I just I just got cold feet. So this podcast is it's not about where I'm going to be filming things. I'm doing everything actually, this is my new place. And I love it. I love it here, and really enjoying the space. So, but I haven't really figured out where to set this up. And but we're gonna figure that out. And I just wanted to get started, and I wanted to get going and share my book with you. So this is the first episode. So I thank you for joining, and let's begin, huh? Being phenomenal. Being phenomenal, choosing to accept your exceptional, by Pete K. Wong. Quotes. Imagine living your life with more joy, a joy that comes from within you and as defined by you. Pete K. Wong. Preface or Preface. It was a Thursday. The date was December 28, 2017. I was back in my hometown for the holidays, sitting at a table at Supermoon Buffet, an Asian, mostly Chinese food buffet in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. I was there with my mother, some of the uncles and aunts from my father's side of the family. We were having lunch together after attending a close friend of the family's funeral. As we ate, I caught up with one of my favorite uncles, Uncle Don. Actually, I love all my uncles and aunts, but through the years, Uncle Don and I have built a natural bond and a mutual respect for one another. How are things going in Los Angeles? He asked me. The truth, I replied. I love it there, but there's definitely been some struggles and challenges I've been dealing with. I tried explaining to him how I now understand a little bit more the meaning behind the words, the struggle is real. Despite my struggles with making enough money for rent and feeling the need to gain more freedom and flexibility to do more of the things I wanted to do, I am proud to say that I've never been this happy before, this confident and excited for life. I continued to tell him how this transformation came to be and the processes behind it, and how eventually it led me to create Unleash the Beast. Even that same night, I was going to have a talk at a local library and asked him if he could join us. He smiled and told me he already had plans and couldn't make it this time around, maybe next time. But Peter, can I make a suggestion? He said. From you, Uncle Don? Please. I said, have you ever thought about writing a book to share with people what it is you want to share with them? When he said this, I felt both surprised and stunned, but in a very good way. There are moments in life that stick out and are not to be forgotten. The moment it's out there, you just know this was meant to happen. This was one of those moments. I told him with a huge smile filled with enthusiasm, yes, yes, I have thought about it, even brainstormed ideas, chapter titles, even hypothesized how it'd be laid out cover to cover. But as of today, I haven't actually written anything yet. As our conversation ended, we both noticed the snowfall outside the windows. It felt magical. From the moment I knew exactly what I had to do and was going to do. Beginning as soon as I could, I took my ideas and notes and set out to narrow them down into something I could share with others. What you have before you is the manifestation of first ideas, then a belief, and then lots of hard work, mixed in with more belief, sprinkled with passion and love. Thank you, Uncle Don, and thank you to all of you, each and every one of you who have inspired me to believe, to do, to be, and to live. Intro. This is my first book ever. I always envisioned publishing a book of my own, not just one, but a few of them. They'd sit on the bookshelf at a bookstore or get reviewed in some magazine or newspaper article. But never could I have imagined what the first book I'd write and actually complete would be about. Whatever it would be, it'd have to be something I felt extremely proud and confident enough to write about. At one point, I saw myself writing a best-selling romance novel. But then I came to the reality that I don't know a thing about those, and even to this day have never read one, and I'm not interested to start anytime soon. Next, I thought I was going to create a graphic novel that would be on the shelf next to the greats like The Watchmen or The Dark Knight Returns. That never happened either. In fact, I explored writing a bunch of things, from theater plays, movie screenplays, poems, even did a little spoken word for a short time period. But as time passed, and although I had accumulated a bunch of notebooks filled with all sorts of ideas and stories, and these were important to me, that's where they remained, in those notebooks. I felt lost, unsure. What could make of my writing just like a lot of like other things in my life? I didn't know. That is, until my life began to change right before my eyes. Being phenomenal speaks to me, to my soul, to all the unanswered questions I had inside. I believe the universe is actually showing me a promise that if I can forgive myself for my previous expectations, let go of the things I thought I knew, I'd be shown exactly what I need to do. That this is the accomplished, matured self that I always sought to become, and because I took the time to listen, to care, to believe, to nurture, then here we are. Hold on. I love to write, and I know exactly what to say, and I'm so excited to be sharing this with you, but I'm also having some trouble coming up with the right words. As you will find out in the upcoming pages, one of the greatest things I've discovered in the most recent years that has really helped me find my direction in everything I do is this whole thing about being genuine. There is nothing more powerful than this right now. At least for me, there isn't. Just saying the words sends tingles up and down my body, and I find the edges of my eyes water thinking about it, about what it's meant to me. Seriously, can you tell how excited I am about diving into this with you? There is so much to share, so much to discover and uncover. So then why am I feeling so nervous to get to it? What's really holding me back from writing this? I think I know. It's my fear of trying to fill your hearts and minds with the perfect words that will inspire you, help make you feel good about life, and in any way, shape, or form support you on this journey we call life. Let me stop myself right here and take a moment to just breathe. Breathe, Pete. Just breathe. Who are we kidding? I don't know what this is going to do for you, or even what this is going to do for me, but I know one thing is for sure. This feels perfectly right. It feels genuine, and it's one of the main key points I want to be sharing with you, and it's because it is genuine. I also know I can do this. What I'm about to share with you in the upcoming pages is personal. In fact, it's the most personal thing I've written so far, and dare I say, as a professional, parentheses, he says with a smile. You see, if I didn't think that this actually works, then I wouldn't be able to say what I'm saying. But let me tell you, by doing this for me, and as a byproduct for you, I finally feel at home. Everything I'm about to share with you is also the thing that gets me thrilled about living my life today, and this is precisely why I have to get it out. It's one thing to have felt the change and know how it's impacted my life. It's another to enjoy losing sleep over and discovering more ways on how to go about unpacking it for you. Yeah, you. I believe, let me rephrase that. I don't just believe. I know it can help you. If you are ready for it. Somehow you heard about this book, or maybe someone recommended it to you. Whichever the case or whatever, if it piqued your interest in some fashion, I'm guessing you are someone who has not unlike me, who was not unlike me not too long ago. I'm thinking there's a part of you that feels something inside is happening. You are going through some kind of changes and many things are feeling much different than it ever had before. Sound right? What is exactly happening? Whatever it is, it speaks to you. Mostly during the most quiet of moments. You may or may not hear the words clearly, but you know it's there, and there's no denying it anymore. And you know what? You shouldn't. There is no better time to listen to that voice inside of you than right now. I know. I've been there. And though our changes and growth never completely is done and continues to evolve through the years, at some point, you're going to have to make the decision and act upon that voice, or don't. The choice is up to you. And here's the thing, it always has been and will always be yours to make. Sorry if I ruined your dream state of mind just now, but this is your life, not something made up. Feel me? So then, what the heck is that voice telling you exactly? I know you want to know. It's only been a few years since I made the decision to stop doing things the way I always did before and start making the new changes I never had. At some point, I told myself no longer would I ignore that voice whispering sweet somethings to me, because that's what it was, sweet, and I knew it. That voice that comes from within, or sometimes from a place outside of us. Before, I wasn't living life the way I wanted to, and today, I'm doing whatever I can to. As simple or as complex as that sounds, throughout my 30-something years on this planet, as I'm writing this, I will be 39 next week. Though many things have been good and many other things have been bad, and things got real bad at times, they got downright ugly. We'll get into that in more detail a little later. But despite living life the way I was, making the choices I was making, part of me always felt like I was missing something. Like somebody had passed out a secret ingredient to help us get through life. Whether it would be the secret for a successful career, great relationships, feeling healthy, whatever it took to enjoy life just a little bit more, whatever that thing was, I must have missed it. Because why had I been living my life having these feelings of always running, moving, chasing after something that I could never have? How come my life couldn't be great? And sadly, because this was the only way I saw it, there it remained in this way. Sure, I had done my very best to get by, doing whatever I thought I was supposed to based on what others told me, or what I had seen others doing, but never did I feel like I was the one in the driver's seat. As my best friend and martial arts coach, Orpheus Black, would say more than once to me, if your life was a movie, shouldn't you be the main character in it? Clearly, I wasn't doing that. Not yet, anyway. As much as I really didn't want to compare my life to others, it was real hard not to. I remember asking myself a number of times, what was I doing wrong? Why can't I have the things in life they had? Why can't I feel happy? And not just for a few days, but this kind of happiness which vibrated throughout my soul almost all the time, if not all the time. Why didn't I have that going on? The kind of happiness you didn't have to make up. I thought I had done pretty well for myself. Laughing, smiling, traveled, gained some interesting experiences. Even found love a few times. But even so, when it came down to the truth, deep down I was always super concerned looking for answers to all my problems. I got so sad, confused, even angry at times, begging for God, the universe, the divine, somebody, anybody to help give answers to solve these riddles I had been struggling with for so long. At times, I felt at odds against the world, lonely, full of anxiety and worries, feeling like a loser sometimes. I think many of us in this world can relate to that feeling at different points in our lives, when as much as we want to, we don't have the answers to our problems, and thus they remain as problems. I needed help, but where could I find it? The philosopher Ellen Watts said, life is not a journey. It's not a destination we best be. Let me do that over. Life is not a journey. It's not a destination we best arrive at, but rather the analogy that best describes life is music. Music, as an art form, is essentially playful. You play the piano. You don't work the piano. One doesn't make the end of the composition the point of the composition. Same thing goes for dancing. You don't aim for a destination. You don't aim for a destination. That's where you arrive. The whole point of the dancing is the dance. So then, why do we find ourselves living our lives working towards a destination? We want so bad the end goal, but in doing so, set ourselves up for disappointment after disappointment because we are too hard on ourselves. If we are always looking for the end goal instead of appreciating the dance or the song, life will never be good enough as it is right now, right here. It wasn't until the past few years that I started to be more mindful about this. Here's another example that helped put things into perspective. Let's look at the way some of the educational systems are designed. More specifically, what I've observed in the American educational system that I know of. We go to school at a young age, preschool or kindergarten. Then we graduate to first grade, and so on and so on. After that, we graduate high school. Then what? Well, then we're told college is next. After college, for those that graduate, well then people might say to you, congratulations, welcome to the real world now. As if our previous 20 plus years, we weren't already living in the real world. We get a college degree, the ones that do. Then we get a job, then we are always wanting, waiting, chasing something. Whatever that thing, it's coming. Maybe it's a promotion, the next gig to help push us to the top. That life we always wanted, the life we envisioned for ourselves, it's coming. Then before you stop to notice, you are now in your early 40s or in your 50s or something, and you ask yourself, what did I do in all this time? Did anything really change? Sure, you got some great experience, maybe hopefully enjoyed some of it too, but were you really living during this process? Like really live? More importantly, were you living alive? Were you living like as you wanted to? Or even in the process, were you still waiting and still chasing? At some point, I had to take a real good look at myself. It wasn't an easy thing to do. I hated I had allowed myself to become. I hated what I had allowed myself to become. Mostly though, I hated that I feared everything. Why did I feel that I couldn't make my own choices? Fearing failure, but also fearing not being accepted. Despite all I had done, how could I have had these kinds of thoughts and feelings? Then I discovered something else that was a real wake-up call. Despite how I felt, the truth was nobody cared, and they didn't have to. It was all in my head. It always was. Everything that I feared, everything that I was unsure of, everything that I wanted to control and make some sense of, it was all an illusion I had made up to make some sense of the world, to help shape my identity in this world of my own existence. Ouch. When I finally came to this conclusion, and I knew that I wasn't going to give up, I had to stop denying myself from the actual beauty that was there all along. And that beauty could only come from the one place I wasn't looking, within. I had to stop and take the time to discover for myself the only place I had to go was inwards. It didn't mean it was going to be easy. In fact, it got a lot harder, but it felt so good, so right, and so me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That's all I ever wanted. A Buddhist principle that you may have heard before is everything we need is already within us. When I used to hear that, I'd wonder, huh? What the hell does that mean? How is this going to help me to find better work? How does this, knowing this, pay my bills? How does this help me get with the girl standing right over there? I discovered at some point that voice was always trying to let me know I had it wrong. I had it all wrong. If you are constantly searching for happiness, contentment, freedom from something that was external, it will never be enough. Try as you may, but you will always be living your life searching, running, chasing, and in fear. It wasn't until I accepted that all the things I wanted and felt that I needed I had to let go. I had to let them go. and began just to enjoy my life more. As soon as I did that, things began to change for me, and best of all, I was feeling great during the whole process. I still am. It's taken a lot of work, but I'm happy and proud to say we're here. And though we're still learning, growing, and exploring, I have found ways of seeing, living, even breathing life like I never had before. And it was because I listened to that voice, heard it, and said, this time I'm not going to ignore you. Instead, I would embrace you full of love and let go and give in to your power. That at any moment I could ignore once again, but I would make a choice not to. I wasn't going to hold myself back anymore. Once I made the decision and stuck to it, I felt I was living with purpose, my purpose. I had reason, and best of all, I was doing it by being me, the real me, honest, genuine to the core. Roar! That's my animal primal nature sound roaring. The me when I gave myself permission to be who I wanted to be without any influence from others. And isn't that what we all long for? To just be super comfortable in our skin, our own shell, completely and honestly. There's still a ton I'm figuring out right now, right here at this moment. I like the person I've become and in the process of becoming. If, before reading this, you felt unsure of many things, if before today you weren't sure of who you are, if who you are is even okay, then let's start here and get that kind of thinking out of the way. It is okay. It is going to be okay. And so are you. In fact, it's more than okay. You are going to hear me use these words like phenomenal. And you are as good as you are today. That's because you are. And until you realize this for yourself, until you can shout out loud, or at the least shout out loud inside, and truly believe it at your core, the fire in your belly, the fire in the belly, until you can do this and actually start to believe, nothing in this book will be useful to you. I know, I'm probably shooting myself in the toe right now for being bold to say this, but we're not here to play footsie or foreplay here. This is your life. This is your show. Time to penetrate. You are the main attraction. There are no buts or maybes here. There are no excuses. Not anymore. Again, if you are reading this, I believe that you are someone that wants to live your life with meaning. Not just floating around or on autopilot, feeling told what to do like a robot, but you wish to live with purpose and not just trying to figure it out, but with direction, vision, fire, and conviction. You are someone who wants to take the world by a storm and scream, I love my life and I love me. To be able to say to yourself, when I look back on my life, as you lay in your deathbed or in a castle in Europe, I lived my life full of zealous, enthusiasm, and eager too. That your journey, your song or music, the composition composed, and the time that was spent was not just comprised of time past, but you made the conscious choice and much effort to not just improve yourself, but in doing so, help to improve everybody else around you in the process. And this helped make the world and those that occupied the space in it just a little better. You loved, you laughed, loved some more, and laughed some more. You lived moment to moment, and it made you feel good for being alive. If this sounds like you, and you are ready to unpack whatever might be followed in the upcoming pages, then congratulations. you're about to witness just how incredible you truly are. It's time to unleash your greatness. It's time to discover your beast. Beast mode on. Well, okay. That was a lot. I know. We made it to 30 minutes. Wow. Give myself a pat on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back or shoulder. Give the person that's next to you a pat on the shoulder, maybe. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's a lot. Like I said, I poured my heart and soul into this because I believe it. And I hope you enjoyed this recording. And wow, I'm gonna have to maybe reconsider if 30 minutes is the right time. Let me know. Let me know in a message, comments below, and let me know your thoughts. Is it too much? I felt my wow. I felt my stomach kind of tighten up a little bit. I think I got a little nervous and excited at the same time. I've never done this before, but as I was doing, I felt really, really proud of myself, and because I'm able to share this the best way that I can through me. So when we pick it up, we're gonna be going into chapter 1, and I'm excited. So let's do this, everyone. This is awesome. I'm so glad that. Thank you, Josh, for giving me this vision, and I'm walking through. So, cheers to all of you. I hope you'll continue listening, and let's get excited, and let's transform our lives. All right, take care. Have a great week, and I love you. And blessings, 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 blessings. Peace, y'all. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time. Remember, you are enough, you are loved, and you are worthy. Blessings to all of you.